Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Buttercupp at Home. This week, we're sitting down with Diana Gasper of Urbantique, and here we are. We got big shows coming up, all kinds of fun things. Thanks for being on, friend.
Thank you for having me. You guys are so much fun. I think we could do this for an hour and a half, but we're not going to.
We can. Yeah. Totally. So for people that haven't heard of your company and what you do, why don't you give a little backstory of all of that jazz?
Who you are, what you do.
Who I am,
Yes.
everything. So I've been refinishing furniture for 12 years. And I had a consignment shop, and it was up on Kimberly Road, right by Harbor Freight Tools. And I had enough room to have furniture in the store. And I was honestly going to auctions just to keep the store filled with furniture so people saw that I had it. I ended up with some bad pieces. So I started fixing them, painting them. And then painting's easy. And then I decided to challenge myself and refinish a piece. I was lucky enough to have two friends that were master woodworkers.
Oh, fun.
So when I messed up a piece, I would take it to them and go, what happened? And their answer every time was sand it back down. So
Yeah.
you learn fast when you're sanding a table
To not make that mistake
to not
again.
make that mistake again. So now I've got a whole complete setup. I have a paint booth, 15,000 different kinds of sandpaper, your nice $700 sander, all that stuff. So I've grown. 2 years ago, it'll be 3 years ago, I decided I was at the tipping point. Like I could go full time. So I looked for acreage. So now my shop and my storefront is on my home property. I have people drive all over. I think the furthest person that drove was 5 hours away to bring me a set to redo because it's a dying art. People don't
Okay.
refinish furniture anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how did that go? Because you were in the thrift shop. And
Yeah.
so then what made you decide, forget this, let's just do the
Oh,
furniture?
the owners did that for me.
Oh.
they decided to double my rent.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Like
just
way,
I'm done with this. Yeah.
yep, that was it. And so I stayed with a full-time job, and then I was doing the furniture on the side, and then it got to the point that, and then after, all the events and all the people, and yeah.
Well, and you started out at the Freight House Farmers Market,
Yeah,
right? Was
yeah, I
that kind
did.
of like your home base for a while?
It was. I think the first time I did a show down there, I think I brought like 12 chairs. That was all I ever brought. It was
Yeah.
so funny. And then I ended up with 2, and I'm like, hey, this is going to work.
But the funny thing is you and I didn't meet each other until a show.
Dubuque.
Yes.
It was Dubuque.
So after we did candles, but I used to look for you down at the farmer's market when I had my photography studio
Well, we
because
bought
I
some
would
of
buy
your
chairs
stuff.
from you as props.
That's so hysterical.
I know. So I had a hot pink chair that had the zebra seat
Oh,
on it.
yeah.
Yes, that
Hot.
was.
I can remember being down there and Jennifer going, we need to go buy that chair. Go get that chair. I'm buying the chair, carrying it to our car, and that was you.
And you probably
was
wondered,
me.
like, who is this lady that just needs this one-off chair?
No,
Just one for me
no.
today, thanks.
I had a couple, and I still see them. Well, when I was down at the market, they came and they bought a single chair every week so they could have a
Yeah.
dining room set that was all mixed and matched. The last thing they ever bought for me was a rocking chair. And I looked and I tilted my head, and she's like, I'm pregnant. So then I got to see their new baby. I mean, it was crazy. I got to see their new baby and then the next baby. So it was kind of like I kind of got
Yeah.
a little family going down
full
there.
circle.
Yeah, it was. It was
Love that.
awesome.
And so you just stopped. Last year was your first year not at the farmer's
Exactly.
market, right?
I couldn't double.
Right.
So I hate the same people go to the farmer's market every week, hardly. And if they're new, they're usually out of town. So there's only so much you can do with furniture, dining room tables. How many
Right.
people can buy those? So I started expanding my area.
again. Like
I
every
know.
week someone-
Another dining room table. Where you put all these?
That's kind of what Jennifer could with desks. It's a whole inside joke. She loves desks.
I have a chair problem.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I blame it on my family. So every time we cook out, it's at my house. But anyway, so then I decided I'd start traveling. So I go probably 2.5 hours is my furthest travel. But then it increases your area, and people see you, and then they,
Yeah.
they flock back. So
So you said when we first were getting started, you said you had friends that were woodworkers, and every
Yes.
time you go to them, they would say, "Just sand
Sand
it
it
back down." So
Yeah.
that's kind of a good life principle. Like
Oh.
if you're starting this business, sometimes we screw things up.
Oh.
And then we're like, we just got to sand it back.
Just
down. We gotta
gotta
start- So what's that journey been like with your business? Of like, what have been like your sand it back down moments? Of like,
geez.
what's the learning curve been like?
So luckily, I've only done 2 majors. I painted a set of chairs wrong, so I had to repaint those. I think I've never, ever truly ruined a piece.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I don't know how I would replace some of these pieces. I had a lady that brought me her great grandparents' set from the 1920s. That was my favorite set I've ever done, honestly. It had a huge dining room table and the fold-out leaves and then a buffet and the chairs. And she came to pick it up and she started crying. And I thought, I went, I literally had to step back and just take a deep breath because I thought I did something wrong. And she started crying because she was so happy. And I was like, okay.
Oh, thank God.
Exactly.
Gonna be
I was like,
okay.
it's gonna be okay. So yeah, that gave me the confidence. I was doing okay. You know what I mean? After that one, I was like, I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah.
So aside from pieces, what about just like business in general? What have been like your moments of like learning curve of being a business owner
So I've been a business owner since 2001.
Right.
So learn curve. Geez, how long you
them.
got? I mean, staffing, supplies. I can't even. That's such a long, and every day is different. Like
Right.
I've always said that. Even when I had a consignment shop, we were putting out 40,000 items a month. It was crazy. And I think back to that, and I'm like, it was so labor intensive. Like I think 5 to 6 people touched one item of clothing before it even went on the floor.
Oh man.
So I'm like, and you couldn't thin it. I was always trying to, the mind going, how do we stop the crazy of the labor?
That's
right.
So wise. That's one of the things, like, because like we come back from an event, like
Yeah.
this is just last weekend, and I talk about this a lot with Jennifer, where we bring our candles back from an event over the weekend. Well, our team touches that product again.
I know.
And then that product gets put back on a shelf and then it gets restocked. So you're technically the value of that product
Just
continues to go down because you're paying for it to be touched.
Or the cost went up.
Cost went
Yes,
up. Yeah,
yes,
exactly. So
yeah.
it's trying to figure out those.
Oh,
we have a
well.
better system this year than we did last
Yeah,
year. But
yeah.
that's
And me, as I'm sitting here, I have people helping me right now because I've got 12. It's supposed to, my timing in the summertime, I get to paint outside, which
Right.
I absolutely love. So I'm working on 12 dining room tables outside right now.
My
Dawn,
gosh.
I think I saw it on
It's like
Instagram.
a garage. It's like a garage sale right now in my driveway, and so it's supposed to rain tonight. So I had like, hey guys, help clean out the barn, get all the tables in. So normally it's just me and my brother.
It's
My
kind of
brother.
like a cattle farm, only tables,
It's
right?
totally. It's a furniture farm, is what this is, and people crack up. They're like, "Are you for?" I go, "I'm for real." There's like 150 chairs up there. Yeah, I just posted buffets yesterday. I think I have 5 buffets that aren't even
That's
done.
my dream.
I know.
I love
We just need to
buffets
build her
as much
another
as
wall.
desks.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Just one more wall in the house.
I know.
So my brother does all my repairs for me, and so he does all the fix-its, all the restructuring. I've seen him take a chair down flat, like to pieces, and I'm like, well, good luck with that, because I can't mechanically do that.
Yeah.
I see the finished product. I don't see the in-between. So anyway, it's a blast. Every day is different. I'm not gonna every single day. I learn something new every day. And there's a guy who's been mentoring me lately, Fred Priester. He owns Priester Custom Woodworking out in Long Grove. He's hysterical. He does Live Edge products.
Oh, wow.
I had to go and steal. I had a table that was a 9-foot long table from the city of Carbon Cliff. They brought it over for me to restore for them. Wow. And it was so long, we didn't have enough clamps. So I had to go out and get the old school bar
The hand
clamps
crank
that it
one,
was
yeah.
crazy. So anyway, that was fun. Yeah.
So how does that go from now you've got this property, the wheels are turning, what came next?
Exactly
Yeah.
right. There you go. So I was driving home from an event one time, and I was like, how do people find me locally? Guess what? Nobody in the Quad Cities does an outdoor event.
Right.
I have 6 acres. So the Back Road Fest was born. So I decided I was crazy enough to attempt to invite vendors, food trucks, music. I do get a liquor license for the weekend too. But so this is the second year, and the first year was kind of a crazy. We had 6 inches of rain in 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost 10 tenths overnight. A security guy went into the building. That's how bad the winds were.
Oh my gosh.
It was a complete mud pit. We had the hose out washing off people's feet.
Somebody's car rolled into a ditch, right? Wasn't
They got
that-
stuck in the first.
stuck
They
in the
got
ditch.
stuck.
I
We had to
remember
call the local farmer to come with the tractor to get the car out of the ditch. It was like a fiasco I've never seen, and I've been doing this 12 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was my event. So we just had all my rain boots were on other people, but all the vendors were like, "This was awesome. We made so much money."
Yeah.
I thought they were
People
all
still
crazy.
came
And
out
the
in
People
the
still
weather.
The
came.
venue's just great. So tell people, like, it's in Walcott.
It isn't technically in Walcott.
Yep.
I think I'm the last property in Walcott. The
Yeah.
mayor didn't quite know where I was
Yeah.
when I met him, and so I'm closer to Maysville. I have 6 acres on the corner. We park in a farm field of 4 acres, and then I've
Yeah.
got 2 acres for everybody to walk around.
It's
and
perfect.
It's
Such a great
it's
And you
spot.
had
perfect.
music, right?
Yeah, I have
And-
music. I have Ariel McReynolds coming, and Jacob Hemingway coming this time. Yeah,
And they're both fantastic.
they're both fantastic. And
Yeah.
Ariel's going to Nashville.
She
know
is.
She
I
is.
know,
So you
I
snagged
know.
her before she
I
moved
know.
away.
Yeah.
I
She
know.
leaves pretty
I know. Shortly
that.
after, I know. I saw that.
And
I
what do
know.
you have for food trucks?
So I know I've got barbecue coming.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've got the kettle corn lemonade coming. I thought I had another. I can't remember off the top of my head. I won't.
But
I
there
won't
will be
focus.
food.
There will be food. I can't think about it until that week.
Yes.
Buttercup candles will be there.
Yes.
Buttercup candles will be there. Ellie will be there.
Yes, she will. How
yeah.
many vendors are you up to?
I'm up to 50
Oh my
vendors.
goodness,
I
that's
know.
exciting.
I know.
So good.
Yeah.
And do
yeah.
you have openings? Like if someone was still
I
interested?
still have like 5 spots open
in
Yes.
certain categories. I
In
would
certain
imagine.
categories, yes. I've got
Okay.
yes.
So if
couple
people want
categories
to
are already booked.
find you from listening to this, where can they do
So
that?
there's an event page called Urbantique Back Road Fest. And then Urbantique is URBANTIQUE because people have a hard time spelling that. And then I've got an event scheduled and the actual page dedicated to it also. Or you could find my page and I could send the link out for the
On
event.
Facebook?
Yeah,
On
on
your Facebook,
Facebook.
okay.
Thank you.
Can I rapid fire a couple questions though? Furniture questions.
100%.
Okay.
Do it.
Best selling color.
Oh, geez. It's farmhouse white. It's still farmhouse white. Yes.
Probably since you started, right?
No.
No?
When I first started, I did all bright colors.
Yeah,
I
well,
did
yeah, that's
all
what I bought.
brights.
That's true.
all I did.
Yeah.
And then I didn't distress anything. It was all
Mm-hmm. Yes.
clean.
That's right.
Yep. And then it just grew as trends grew. I thought
Mm-hmm.
for sure last year we were going to change over to boho, like the lighter
yeah,
colors
yeah.
and everything. Iowa hasn't gotten there yet.
Nope, we're still on the
We're
way.
we're about 3 years behind usually. So I started, doing some lighter tones last year, but white and gray. If
Okay.
I do a gray table, it's gone
That's crazy.
in a week. Gone.
Best selling item.
Chairs, hands
Chairs.
down, chairs. They're so expensive in the store. They start. The cheap chairs start at $200 a piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and I rebuild all of mine, so they're brand new chairs,
Right.
but solid chairs.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
What's your favorite thing to make?
My favorite thing.
Like if you could go in and just do it your own way, like what? Because that's the hard thing
know,
when you're
I
a
know,
maker.
I
You
know.
have to,
I have to like
You have
whatever.
To you have to make the donuts that pay the bills.
Right.
So hot pink, number one. Favorite
that was
color.
my chair was hot pink.
So you'll see hot pink on my storefront door
Uh-huh.
because it's my favorite color. I love doing makeup vanities for girls. I love doing vanities. They're my favorite thing ever. I had one when I grew up, and I've always had one. So
Then you kind of incorporate the wallpaper on
I
the side,
do.
which
I
is
love
so
wallpaper.
cute.
I've
Yeah.
gone down the Amazon rabbit hole like nobody's business with wall. And wallpaper's so cute. And with all of the white and gray of farmhouse, it's a
Yes.
pop of color in a farmhouse.
In a
Yeah.
safe little small way.
Little small way with no really huge commitment.
Right.
You are correct because
Yeah.
it's self-stick.
Right.
If you want to take it off, we could put,
There you go. Exactly. And so do you have people that come to you that are like, hey, I want you to do this. And then maybe 5 years later, they change their mind, like maybe their decor changes or whatever. Have you had
I
anybody,
haven't had anybody come
repeats
back.
yet?
Not any repeats.
Because
It's
that's
been 12
something
years.
interesting.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say she was in the faux finishes back when those were
Oh,
popular.
yeah.
And so by the time she started to the time she ended, she started having people come to her and say, okay, I'm done with the vintage Italian
Sure,
look.
sure. Yeah, the
You know?
Remember when I
Tuscany?
made my table
Yes.
look like granite? I don't
Yeah,
want that
I
anymore.
don't want
Oh,
that.
I know. That's so crazy. I haven't had that yet. So the
Okay,
trend
so
is
maybe
still
it's
sticking.
timeless,
Yeah.
yeah.
I try, yes, black. I hate doing black, but black is timeless. I just did a whole dining room set this week that was black. And it's a statement. It's a pop of color too. People
Yeah.
don't quite get that, but.
Did you know you can make your own candles at Buttercupp Candles? With an amazing selection of over 100 scents to choose from, you can find the perfect fragrance to create your own special blend. Whether you're planning a date night, a girls' outing, or a special bonding time with your grandkids, making candles at Buttercupp Candles is a delightful experience for everyone. Go to buttercuppcandles.com today to make a reservation.
So do you have people that can come out to your showroom, or how do you do that?
Oh, so, okay. The good time to come out to the showroom is not in season. It's off season
Yeah.
because then you can see everything. Right now I'm loading and unloading trailers. So
Right.
half of it's on a trailer because I'm, again,
True.
going to a show tomorrow
Yeah.
for this weekend. So, yeah, it's much easier that way. Oh, the people that have me redo their things. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I have people that come all over that, Chicago, anywhere. They bring me their pieces to refinish. I just somebody came and picked up their set last night. It was a golden oak set, huge long. I bet it was a 10-foot long table, 6 chairs, the base, the farmhouse base.
So are they usually ones that like they've purchased and now they feel that they're outdated, or is
Yes.
it like grandma's table or?
Both.
Both.
I have people that want to save, their great grandparent stuff. Which I absolutely, let's save it, let's fix it, let's repair it, let's make it sturdy again. And then I'll finish it. Yes. And then,
And
I
we were
love it.
talking, you don't really do beds. You really mainly stick to tables and chairs. Do you do like coffee tables, end tables?
Anything solid wood.
Okay.
Anything solid wood. I think the biggest piece I
Baseball
ever
bats.
did, baseball bats. And no. I can't imagine how they get that. Never mind. I'm going to
Got a
go
really
off of my
fancy-
brain here and
really
go.
fancy number 2 pencil.
There you
Diana
go.
is the person. A little bit of wallpaper on it.
Exactly. 'Cause that didn't take me 15 hours to do that.
Right.
I think the biggest piece I've ever done was a pie safe. I refinished a pie safe for a lady,
yeah.
and that was a big one. Yeah, it was adorable. But I have a huge hutch I need to work on, and that's going to have to require
You don't
moving.
do a lot of hutches though, or maybe you just don't take them with you to shows.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're hard
tough to
pieces
do,
to
yeah.
move. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
they're top heavy.
I-
It's just
they
like,
are-
they're so difficult.
I
So
know.
if they don't find you at a show, do you have like a website or where's your inventory that people can kind of look at?
sure, I post everything up on Facebook and Instagram. I try to
Okay.
post it even before I finish it, so people can custom order it.
Right.
And then I kind of walk them through. Like if they don't know what colors they want to do, I'll have them take a picture of the room it's going in. I'll have them take the rooms to adjoining. And I'm kind of like a side interior designer
Sure.
on the side to help
Yeah.
them walk them through things. They will look through all the pictures that I have up, deciding on colors and stains. And we just walk it through most of the time by email now. People don't even come out to see anything. I send them things and we just gather together and get it right.
And so when you find stuff, is it like you and your brother going to pick it up, or like
Oh.
where are you? Like how are you arranging that? Because, and I
I was
say
just going
this.
to ask about inventory. Where do you find your
Yeah.
inventory?
Well, Casey and so our daughter just bought her first house, and so I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace.
Sure.
I find them this beautiful entertainment center. I send Casey over there with the van, and he's like, "That thing is huge. It's not coming home with us." So then,
Yeah, like I like. Do you want us to take this to their house, or do you want us to just move in? I think it was that big. It was
I
like its
know.
own tiny house. This thing was so big.
and it just didn't look that big in the picture. I was not prepared. So they didn't. And so then it was so heavy that he helped her move it like out to her porch so somebody else could come.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
kind of the situation I got in with the 9-foot long table that I was like,
Right.
I didn't really process
Yeah.
the measurements in the email. I think I might have even just seen a picture. I don't even know if
Yeah.
I saw.
Like,
and
easy
when they
peasy.
dropped it off, they're like, "We're going to use the Tommy lift," and I went, "What?" and they had it. They had we had 5 guys on the table to flip it. It was crazy. So I'm like, okay, now I need measurements on everything.
Right.
Right.
It only took me 12 years to learn that one. I tell you, every day is something new. You're like, and I need measurements.
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
so I stock Facebook Marketplace, the antiques mostly section,
Sure.
because I want solid wood.
Yeah.
And I went different. I try to go for different. I just posted a picture of a buffet the other day, and it's a whole Jacobean set. Like I have a table that goes with
don't know what
it.
that is.
It's very carved. It's
Okay.
very ornately
Yep.
carved. So I just love saving the old stuff and
Yeah.
making it. They'll have, there's one in existence that
Right.
I have refinished.
Right.
So when people buy it, nobody else is going to have that. But I also local auctions I'll pay
Okay.
attention to. Yeah.
It's like, how do you even have time to do all of that? It's when you have to get the painting done.
Usually I'm working till 9:30. Polying is my last thing I do at night, usually 9:30 at night. Yesterday was a earlier night because I had to send so many emails out confirming orders and stuff. But yeah, I just went, sometime at night, I'm just looking at like if 30 minutes, just checking it out. I'm probably sitting on 30 unfinished dining room tables right now. I don't
Oh,
even,
wow.
yeah, and 100
So then
some
like, you
chairs.
kind of have a base of like, okay, I'm sitting pretty good. I'm gonna pause for a while, or do you just?
I
are
try.
always
You
looking-
probably
Yeah.
can't pass them up if a good
Yeah.
one comes up.
I know. There was one week I'm like, I'm not buying anything. And then I pick something up, and somebody came out to help me, and they said, "Hold on, you said you weren't buying anything. I'm just buying this one piece this week.
That's all I need, and then I'm done. That's all."
So you're talking about trends and like what's trendy, what's in style. What do you do personally to just stay up on? Like you said, I thought this year might be boho, which boho is very popular. We've been talking about that with our labels and everything that we design. You kind of want to keep pulse. What do you do to kind of keep a pulse on what's
what's hysteric?
Happening?
I don't know. I mean, total admission, I haven't had a television since 2017.
You haven't?
No,
That's
no TV.
Awesome. I grew up without one, so
I don't have time. So I
That's
guess
why you're polying tables
whatever.
at 9:00 at night. There's
So-
nothing to binge watch.
no, nothing to binge watch. So I guess I don't know. I guess I just pay it. I don't know, Facebook and Instagram,
Sure,
and what
yeah.
pops up on my
Yeah.
feed is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, I belong to a lot of artist groups on Facebook, so I'm seeing what they're posting. A lot of
Probably
furniture
what
refinishing.
people request.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That also.
do you do a lot of Pinterest?
I don't.
You
I wish
don't?
I know.
I would love Pinterest.
I know.
It's
which
like
is-
your brain.
It
I
is.
feel like
your
you would
brain.
love
It's
Pinterest.
I know. I'm afraid to get sucked down the rabbit hole. I do
Yeah.
have an account. I don't keep it active, which is terrible of me.
You
'cause
should just search in there. It's
Yeah.
like a search of beautiful things.
I bet it is.
it's like
my
way
dear.
prettier than Google.
I'm afraid.
Like
a
there's
beautiful
like 30
Google.
conversations with all the women in my house every day of like blah 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 on Pinterest.
Oh,
blah blah on
geez.
Pinterest.
It's so
I know.
handy.
Yeah, constantly.
I don't know how I
like
don't-
Pinterest too.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah, I probably need to expand that a little more. I mean, I've done an account with hashtags, but I probably haven't been on it for a year.
You just can go on there and search things though. Like
I
you don't
know.
have to sell things on there.
I was going to sell. I was just going to
Yeah.
hashtag it all so people could come to me.
You could try that.
That
yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of. I guess we haven't used Pinterest as a tool to get business. I use it more of a like when I'm trying to. Like if I have a new scent and I want some ideas of what that looks like, you
Sure.
know, or like a kind of like an idea board or mood board. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
The
So I
design
would use
label,
it.
stuff
Mhm.
like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would pull ideas from there and then, so I use it more like that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Google is how I
And
treat
what's
it.
funny is I already see it before it's done. So maybe that's why I don't use it. It's
Yeah.
because I already
You already
see
know
it.
what
I already
you're
see
gonna
what
do.
it is
Yep.
before it's finished.
So you look at the table. Color
Tells
pops
you
in
what
your-
it wants to
It
be.
does. It
I think it's
speaks
great.
to me.
No, that's good. I always talk about projects and stuff like that. I said you have to do something in your head 10 times before you touch it. It's already done. Then when the project comes up, to me, it's already done. That's the way
Yeah,
my
I'm
brain.
a fly by the seat of my pants
Yeah.
kind of girl. I'm not touching. I'm like, I'm to start like, and everybody will tell you that. Like, she's on. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be done in it's 2 minutes. We're starting in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
That's
really
awesome.
think it through very much. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Everybody
It's
will
okay.
tell you that.
Yeah.
So how many people for like the summer season do you have working with you?
So usually it's just me and my brother, and then which I tend to drive him a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, okay, next. I'm like the
Drill
the
sergeant.
project. I am the project manager. Yes, I am, but I have help that comes out. So I think there's four people helping me right now. I've just got people that I can call in on certain projects. I've got a gal that will help me do my upholstery seats if I need help. I don't know. I do all the manual labor myself, though. All the sanding, all the staining, all the polying. Yeah, I do all of that. I need help for lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the usually I call in the lifting help.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question and
Okay.
don't take this the wrong way, but I'm asking because I went through this myself with my studio. I started to think about what does the next 10 years look like, because physically it's really hard.
It's really hard.
So like, have you started to think like in 10 years,
Robots.
how am I
Well,
robots?
Okay,
But like,
you know how I feel about that.
You don't even have a TV. I'm not worried about robots.
I robot. This is all I'm saying.
but have you started to think about like, what does that look like for in 10 years? How do I move all these tables around? How do I do all this?
A bomb drop that I might not probably be doing it in 2 years. I've
Okay.
got something on the side that I've
Okay.
been working on,
Awesome.
and I probably will do it if I love it, but it probably won't be massive like I'm doing it right now.
Right.
Because I think this new project I'm working on is going to take over.
Well, and don't you
Yeah.
think that that is such an important part of, I think that if you're not a maker, people can look at that and be like, you're so flaky. You only did that for however many years.
Oh, sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. You're
And
not dedicated. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's hard for people to understand that sometimes seasons change and our bodies change. And
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like there
Yeah.
was no way that I could at this age, keep crawling on the floor after newborns and babies. Like I just couldn't do it for that.
Wouldn't want to.
No. And I loved it and I was passionate about it and I was good at it. And then people see you stop and they're like, what are you doing with your life? So like, did you experience that? Like when you closed your other store, cause you said you've been a business owner, people like, what are you doing now?
No, that was 15 years. I was there for 15 years, and I was very devastated when it happened. I mean, the rent was going from $6,000 a month to $12,000 a month
gosh.
for a consignment shop.
That's crazy.
Wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So then I just went, okay. I literally gave myself 24 hours, and then I ordered a store closing sign on Amazon. Felt like I pulled my boots up, and I went in the next day, told the staff, and I go, guess what's happening? We're going to put the sign up today. And they were, okay. So we were out in, I think it was 30 days, 20,000 square feet out in 30 days.
Holy cow.
And then I was like, okay, what's next? So I got a real job, and then I was still doing furniture. And yeah, it just led to this full time.
Yeah.
But see, the one thing always leads to the next thing.
I know,
And
I know.
I get what you're saying by
I've
saying
been
a
lucky.
real job, but there's no safe jobs. That's the thing. It's just like, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you work for someone or whether you work for yourself. It's just like, and you're such a go-getter.
And luckily, that job I hated.
Well,
like
so
You were very
probably
motivated.
the worst job I'd ever had in my life. So I was very motivated to make the furniture work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
something to be
You
said
dig
about
deep,
that.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So give us the dates of the show coming up, and
Yep.
then kind of close this all out with where people can find you, social media, and all that jazz.
So the Back Road Fest is coming up June 17th. It's going to be from 9 to 4. And then it's a $5 admission, 12 and under are free. Let's see. Yeah. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be gorgeous that
Where are
day.
you at on social media? Yeah,
Social
right. No
media.
rain that day. I've already seen the forecast.
It's gonna be great.
Social media, Facebook and Instagram.
And
Yes.
what's your handle?
Oh, Urbantique QC.
Urbantique
Yeah.
QC. Spell
That's
it one
it.
more time.
URBANTIQUE QC. Kind of like antique, but urbantique.
I love it.
Together. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks for coming and chatting with us
Thanks, guys.
today.
This was
Yeah.
so much easier than I thought.
Oh,
We're not
super
that
easy,
scary.
super chill. We're excited about the show coming up.
I
Everything you're
know.
doing is so good.
Yeah.
And so, hey, everybody, look on Facebook and Instagram. Follow Diana and make sure you buy a table from her, or if you have something you finished, find her. She's fantastic. But we appreciate you listening to this week's episode. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Have a good one.